get asked this question quite a bit. People are starting out, they're trying to figure out, how do I get started? I don't have any money, I don't have any cash. Very often you do. You have more than you think. Or maybe you have assets, but you don't have ready cash. There's a way to get started, and there's probably money out there for you that you haven't thought about. So let's start talking about a few of these things. The easiest thing that I think, outside of I just have cash and a bank account, where else can you find cash? Ask yourself, what do I own that I don't need, that I don't use, that maybe I like and use, but I have a better use for that money for me and my family? Come back to buy the boat later, maybe. You have a timeshare, get rid of it. I can't sell it for what I paid. Who cares? Right? Opportunity cost. You have to cut your loss at some point. Do you have a boat or a motor home or an extra vehicle that you don't use, that you don't really need? You like having it. Maybe it's even fun to use when you do use it. I think maybe look at selling those types of things, deploying that money into an investment instead, into commercial real estate, which is what I do, but into whatever you're trying to do. So again, timeshare, boat, RV, things that you're just not using. Now, some more wild ideas that some people don't like at all, I'm totally fine with it. Do you have built up equity in your home? Many of you do right now. Well, you can go get a home equity line of credit, a HELOC. You can do a cash out refi, pull that money back out. Oh, but I have more debt. If you do it safely and don't put more than 70 or 80% debt on your residence, provided you can afford the larger debt payment. You got to do this smart. Think through it completely, but take that equity out that's locked up in your house. You might be paying 3 to 6% in interest for that additional loan dollar, but if you can deploy that and make 10 to 15, 20, or 30% sometimes on some of these deals, it makes all the sense in the world. Again, you got to do it responsibly. Make sure you can service the additional debt. There's a few ways you can do this, right? Now, the wildest thing that I did for most people, I had a 401k. Take that back. I converted to an IRA. I had a traditional IRA and I had a Roth IRA. I liquidated both of them. I didn't like the thought that I was at the time 43 years old, that I had to wait until 59 and a half basically to get that money out and put it to work unencumbered. I could start taking distributions at 59 and a half. I wanted to get started now. So I liquidated both of them. I paid, I think it was a 10% penalty on both. And I had tax consequences on the traditional IRA. My first deal paid me enough to offset all of that. And I still came out ahead. That's what I did, right? So these are some wild things. I don't believe you should go out and open 1,400 different credit cards to get all. I think that's reckless as hell. What I've laid out here, some of you might think is reckless, but look, cash out refi, get the equity out of your house, sell things that you aren't using or that you have a better use for the money, or maybe even convert your IRA. I hope this helps some of you because, again, I get this question all the time. How do I find the money? Many of you have a lot of money right now that you just don't think about, or a lot of asset, a lot of resource. Utilize those resources, think outside the box, and get started.